This is a new episode with Peter and myself. So before we get started, just want to throw out there happy birthday to the homie Peter. He's
Thank you.
40. The death of actually what's his name?
Draco.
I personally never heard his music. I've never, until now I guess you could hear. Well, I haven't played his music, but I hear a lot of people, and then my son's always singing his music. He's always singing it before, but I've never listened to myself. And I know usually when people die, people start listening to his music and stuff like that, or people start talking about him. And so, Peter, what do you think about his music? I'm not really sure about his music or stuff like that, so I won't be saying anything much about it besides rest in peace. It sucks to see rappers die. It sucks to see young people die. Especially rappers that are making it. But the only thing I would like to say is that I did hear a lot of things about him, like that he was really, really like the type of guy that's gonna beef it. He had a song, actually an album called Inga Weird or stuff like that, and like he talked shit on a lot of people. Sometimes when shit like that happens, you do a lot of this song, you do a lot of this, things tend to happen. So I just like to say rest in peace to him. You know anything about his music?
So yeah, once again, rest in peace, Draco the Ruler. I started listening to Draco maybe a little bit over a year. I didn't really listen to him before that. I started catching on to his music, looking some YouTube videos here and there, and then I know he made a song with OGC, which I actually like very much. The tragedy that this happened, and definitely I really like his type of music. I really like his vibe. Especially he was bringing a new sound to LA. I think he was definitely the new way for Cali sound, Los Angeles sound. But man, it's really bad to hear that he died. I mean, he had that energy, and that brought a lot of hate, a lot of haters, a lot of enemies, especially gang members. I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but you can Google it yourself. I mean, YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much our starting point vlog episode. Yeah. So like I said, there's something like personally for me myself, I never listened to his music. If you like to say like if you like to say like there's somebody like a rapper that he was like let's say if I could relate to it, I could know what type of rapper he was, who do you compare him to? Whatever, his music wise. His music, I would say he had that mellow, chill, back, like raspy type of sound. Kind of like I'm not gonna compare it exactly to I would say if I had to compare someone, maybe
or it's just that he had a style that wasn't comparable.
Yeah, he had a style that it was new. Even if you listen to his music, you can actually see him. It's like he's like kind of talking, like slow talking while rapping at the same time. Pretty cool. So I can't really I guess compare him to no one at the moment, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. Like I said, I never listened to his music. I see that like this year, besides COVID, there's been a lot of like gang related deaths, like especially shit like this, 90% of the time, especially here for us that we live in Orange County. And a lot of people say Orange County is not that bad, but Santa Ana is kind of a bad place, but there's been a lot of gang related deaths around here, especially all this stuff, so just people be out there safe. Sometimes like I try to teach my kids, never, watch what you say and when you say it and who's around, because there's been a lot of people that like sometimes backstab you, like even like quite a little bit off topic, but the guy was it like 3-4 years ago, El Pirata de Culiacán.
Oh yeah.
They were recording him when he was talking shit on the Naco, he ended up getting killed, you know. So sometimes, you know, I always tell my kids, be careful who you're hanging around with, and be careful, you know, what you're saying, you know, because whatever you say is always gonna come back to haunt you one day, you know.
And especially for young people, you know, hey, you gotta keep, you know, that grass, you know, make sure that grass cut so you can see the snakes. You know, so what I'm trying to say is, you know, really, you know, look out to see who you're really hanging out with and who's really your friend, because most of the time those people are not really looking out, and they're not, you know, they don't have the best interest, and definitely, you know, you'll find some backstabbing motherfuckers here and there. So, you know, just for the new generation, you know, keep you know, an eye out who you're hanging out with.
Yeah, but other than that, you know, I just want to say, you know, I could probably I'll listen to a couple of his music. Maybe next episode I'll kind of give a little review to see how it is, you know. Maybe, you know, I know a lot of people do listen to him, and you know, I think this is the first rapper that I see didn't pop that much though, because like, you know, sometimes when somebody dies, people start listening to his music, start playing it everywhere. But this is, so, you know, maybe he was actually hot, so that's why a lot of people are not listening to him. You know, maybe his movement wasn't as what it was, you know. Like, I know when Pac died, Biggie died, when what's his name? That guy from Crenshaw.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, Nipsey. You know, he had a movement. All these guys had, you know, a lot of people.
Well, the other guy, what was his name? Too died. I don't know if he was signed under YG's label. The other dude.
Which one?
Forgot his name. Forgot.
So many people, so many rappers have died. I just want to say, I know you always see us eating, and it's not because we usually like right now it's early in the morning, you know, and we like to I guess what I want to try to do here too is give reviews on food. Like this pumpkin, what is it? Muffin is actually pretty good, you know. I've always eaten it. If anybody out there, like my wife knows and stuff like that, I'm in pumpkin spice. That's my favorite thing. So I love, you know, Thanksgiving. They start bringing out everything pumpkin, you know. So I usually just eat mostly pumpkin stuff during the holidays. So, but yeah. So we will be giving reviews out there too about food. You know, we're just not eating just because, or we're just like, of course we are big, but you know, we are trying to do this.
He's big, but
we are trying to do this weight loss thing. But yeah. So don't worry, you know, I understand, you know, I know a lot of people are like, fuck, these fat are fucking always eating this thing. But it's not that, you know. But I just want to throw out there because I think on all our episodes we going back to
the trucker
guy, you know, I forgot his name, and I'm sorry that I forgot his name.
Hispanic, right?
Yeah, he's Cuban. You know, I know he started young. I think he was only like 24, but I think when that incident happened, I think he was like 23 or 22, something like that. You know, I read a couple things, and I saw a video of him driving, how he was driving. I was guess somebody was recording it, reckless it was, you know, that he could have taken off the what is it, the off ramp or whatever, the ramps that they have, I guess, for truckers when they like lose their brakes and stuff like that. But a lot of people need to understand, and you know, I've never been through that situation, but I know sometimes when you're in that situation where, you know, your instincts have to kick in, you know, especially like they say, he was an unexperienced driver. He was young, you know. I think he had like 2-3 years as a trucker, you know. And I read this girl was talking about it. She's a trucker, and she says, if you've never had a big crash like this, of course not when people dying, but I guess she meant, you know, where you actually crashing is like big, like you've never been a trucker. Like it's rare that you see a trucker that makes it, you know, without crashing with anything like that, which is true. You know, even ourselves, you know, there's one point in time that we had a crash, you know. But I guess the sentence that they gave him, I think it was too much. And I did see that, I guess the judge was saying that he understood that it was a lot and he couldn't do anything about it. But you know, I think it sucks, you know, because then it puts a lot of truckers, you know, like, you know, they gotta, you know, you'll think about it twice, you know. You start thinking like, fuck, should I even drive, should I even do this, you know, because like it's scary. Like, who knows, that could have been any of them. And said like, damn, like if it's me, if I crash, I might get like over 50, 60 years for something that's not my fault, that malfunction. What can I do? That's part of their job. Like sometimes it's just scary to drive like that. So.
Was it confirmed that the brakes were the ones?
Yeah, because he did
that caused that.
Yeah, his brakes. I guess they broke or something. Because I've been hearing people talk about it. Like, I guess you cannot hold the brakes for too long because they're they're air brakes. So like something, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic or anything like that, but that's what people have been saying and stuff like that. And then I guess the video where he's driving, that he missed 2 or 3 those tracks, the ramps. But like I said, you're going 60, 70 downhill. It's just instincts. Sometimes you think you could do it. Sometimes he probably felt that he could have done it. That he could probably do something about it. But then ahead of him there was traffic. And it sucks. And I understand why a lot of these truckers are going on strike. A lot of truckers are not going to Colorado. It sucks that that all this had to happen, especially to a young kid, being 23 and serving 110 years. Like, I see a lot of people talk about there's freaking child molesters, there's rapists, they get 10, 15 years only. There's murderers, they only get like 5, 10 years. There's people out there that self-defense. They killed somebody for self-defense, they're doing life. So stuff like this, this is where the system's kind of broken, And it sucks that I see too that every state carries a different laws. So like Colorado has a different law, so that's why they would have to give him so much. It sucks, that what happened there in the state that has like really, really restricted laws. So I'm not 100% sure about all the laws, but I guess it sucks for him. It sucks that he went through this.
Yeah, I mean, also, it sucks for the families, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, also, I mean, it's a tragedy, for the families, definitely. It's, it's a bad situation for him as well. But what I feel is that the families are not gonna just, keep their arms crossed and, they're gonna be like, hey, our family's dead, our son or daughter or husband or wife is, it's dead. What are you gonna do for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, I mean, I understand that the guys, they're giving him so many years, but the families, bro. The families too. I mean, how many people were killed?
4.
So,
but
that's that's a parent, that's a daughter, cousin, mom, grandpa.
But like, okay, like you gotta look, like they say, you gotta look both sides of the sword. It's true, but I guess if he wasn't doing it on purpose, that's where, like, let's say, I guess I could say if I was in that situation, I would understand if he was innocent. You get me?
Mm.
Because you gotta understand, like, at that moment, you never know what could happen, And I know a lot of people might say, "Oh, you don't know," This year, I know what it feels to lose somebody,
Yeah.
And to lose somebody, not because of an accident, but because somebody else decided to take his life away, But of course, I'm not gonna get into it. But in that case, I could care how much time they give this person, whatever time they give him. But I do expect a high amount of time because he did it on purpose. So that's what I'm saying. If you do it on purpose, then of course you deserve the death penalty. You deserve to be doing life without parole. You deserve all this. But if you do it not purposely, where let's say you're driving, you're going to work, and then probably your brakes don't work and you hit another car, that person dies. Of course, it's understandable more where you're like, oh shit, this person does not deserve it, But those are things that I guess you gotta see both sides. You can't just look at one side of the family and say, oh, you know what, it was a family. You gotta think about the family, how they feel. The family sometimes needs to understand that things happen. Anything can happen. Anything in any moment. You never know when is your time to go.
Yeah, and that's a thing at the moment right now, bro. It's when death happens unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're willing to like think about the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it's an accident. Yes, the families are gonna mourn and this and that, but man, it's a hard situation for both, and especially for the guy. I mean, are they gonna lower his sentence or no?
I'm not sure. I heard somebody that told me that they were thinking about, I guess, another judge from another state said that he was trying to see if they could release him, but I'm not 100% sure. I think in this situation, I think the families should decide what can happen here. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. The family should come in and say, hey, you know what? This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it should be. Like maybe like, okay, you're hurt. Give it some time and say, hey, you know what? Like maybe give him 5 years for every maybe that's what I think. But then again, I heard that this trucking company, they've been having this situation with a lot of their brakes. It wasn't like the first time that truckers complain about the company.
Yeah, so
I think even the company should be more reliable than the trucker.
Well, the company should be the one in trouble. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it was a guy, man, especially with the brakes. I mean, I don't know how those type of companies work. I don't know who has to do the service, maintenance. I'm assuming that the driver?
Yeah. Well, no, I think they have mechanics.
Mechanics, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think the driver.
So, damn. But at the same time, when this type of things happen, bro, I feel that there's no way of knowing when and where, death's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how.
I think
That's how life is. So it's hard and it's sad and it's So
yeah, I guess rest in peace to those people that passed away.
rest in peace. Yes.
Hopefully this matter gets resolved a little bit better, and I guess if he deserves, jail sentence is not as much as what they put for him. Anybody else? Yesterday I went to go see the Spider-Man movie. It's a great movie. I recommend it for everybody to go watch it. I would usually go watch a movie during Christmas time, but my kids wanted to go watch it, and I know The Matrix is coming out on Christmas Day, so I'll be going to watch that movie on Christmas Day. But so I just want to say out there, so anybody that hasn't watched the Spider-Man movie, it's a must-go watch movie. Make sure you guys pay attention, because if you guys don't pay attention, sometimes you guys don't get all the things happening. So shout out to Spider-Mans, all 3 of them. It was a great movie. Shout out to Marvel, shout out to Disney, shout out to everybody that made that movie happen, because it's a badass movie. I know he hasn't watched it, but I'm not gonna get into details of it. But just go watch it. It's a must movie before the holidays. Well, before Christmas. Well, the holidays.
What about after Christmas?
Matrix. You gotta watch The Matrix. That's a must movie. If you never watched the Matrix movie, you should go watch it. You ever watch any of the Matrix?
Yeah, I love The Matrix.
Yeah, so you guys should go watch it. Like, it's a badass movie, The Matrix. So.
All right, I want to talk about Christmas, but I want to talk about especially people right now, bro. I feel that everywhere you go, restaurants, stores, and everywhere, the people are just, man, some people don't even want to help. Like, you know, and I get it, the company needs employees, but at the same time, some employees can, everywhere, restaurants, shop centers, malls, and everywhere people are just like not really giving, a
100%. Yeah. For me, I work in the customer service business.
But before he continues, shout out to Starbucks, really good coffee. Go ahead.
Anyways, for me that I work in customer service industry, you could say, something I do get a lot of compliments is, I'm always happy. I cannot ever be unhappy. I guess life's too short, you know, to be unhappy. It's just like there's no point of living your life or living a day, you know, unhappy. You know, like I know if you all go through problems, like there was one thing that I said or that I heard. It was why are you gonna let, you know, somebody's 10 seconds ruin your 24 hours of happiness a day, you know? So somebody could tell you something for 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but then, you know, is that really gonna, you know, make you unhappy for the rest of the day? So, you know, usually I always try to wake up with a positive attitude. And I guess just at work, that's how I am, you know. And I always try to help everybody. It doesn't matter if you're old, young, you know, at work. I'm always trying to give my best, you know, because I guess you never know what people are going through or what people are hiding inside. But you give your happiness and show happiness to somebody else, you know. It might brighten up their day, you never know, you know. I've seen it happen, and I've seen people say, oh, like, thank you for your help, you know. Like, it's great you helping me, like, I've always seen you happy. So I guess I'm just trying to say is for everybody that works out there, like in all these stores and stuff like that, you know, we understand that right now it's the worst season to work at like a cosmetic stores everywhere, like a shoe store or in a clothing store, but you know, it's part of the business, you know. Like I always said, you know, because of the job that we have, we pay our bills, you know. Because of the job we have, you know, I'm able to buy what I want, buy myself a laptop, buy myself a camera, you know. So always think positive, like that's what I'm trying to say, no matter what you're going through. So everybody out there, stop giving bad customer service, because whatever you're going through, whatever you have, whatever your boss is telling you, whatever the company is telling you, the customer it's not at fault at the end of the day, you know.
And honestly, there's a lot of people that definitely should seek therapy. I think a lot of people, you know, we go through so much, especially this past 2 years. We've gone through so much. I've gone through so much. He has gone through so much. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are in the same situation or maybe worse. But if you really need help, seek help. And you know, especially mental health's very big at the moment. Especially, you know, people go through so many things that, you know, that they hide, you know, in order to you know, not letting anyone know about their situation. But hey, it's always to, you know, find a good friend, you know, someone that you really trust, or reach out. You know, you can always message us, or you can always call. You know, we don't have the number, but you know, like those suicidal hotline, you know, it's kind of.
Just know that, like, in reality, when you grow up, you will have the least friends. You know, you need the least friends. But you know, like for us, you know, when I was in high school, I used to have like 100 friends. Now I probably have like 5 or 6. You know. But you know, what I'm trying to say is that I guess it's not always about how many people you know. It's just to know the right amount of people that you want around you. Throughout these holidays, I know a lot of people go through a lot of stuff. I know, especially me seeing that at work, that a lot of people do tell me that they have their families out there in Mexico, their parents, they haven't seen them in 20, 30 years. And throughout this time, it's kind of, it's tough for them because they just remember them and they can't go over there because they can't come back. So just know and always know that there's people out there that are doing worse than you. So always, like I said, you know, look at life the bright side. Don't ever look at it through the bad side, because it's always best to look at everything through the bright side.
That's right. I know we got a few minutes left, almost, maybe about 5, maybe less. I do want to talk about this quote. I don't know if he had something to say after this, or do you have to say something before?
Well, I think before
you interrupt me,
yeah.
Because this guy interrupts, advertises, sells, resells, buys. So.
Well, I don't know how much time do we have. Okay, but F it. You know, we're just gonna go until it stops and then. But something we talked about it on the last episode. I had to edit it out because I guess that wasn't just to prepare for it, but I have seen a lot of, I guess, but so yeah, like we were saying, the thing that I want to talk about is, I guess, all these ethnicities going against each other on TikTok and social media. When I was over here, I was listening to a Whack 100 talking about how they feel like Mexicans or even Latinos saying the N word. I guess he did say something what depends on the era you grew up in. Like people from the 70s, 80s, and 90s will find it disrespecting, but I guess he was saying that now the new generation, the new era, is just more openly to say it, and I guess I understand what he's saying, but for me personally, I don't let my kids say it. I don't like saying it, and like, I guess like one word that us Mexicans use is like paisa, and I wouldn't want somebody else from another culture coming to saying and calling me a paisa. Or I guess if I grew up with them, I guess it's okay, but I guess if you don't grow up with them, I guess it's not okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna say the N word, I personally don't find it correct to saying it, but if you're gonna say it with people people you hang around, people that are okay with you saying it. And when I say people, I mean like black people. Don't go ahead and say it with your white friends. I have seen like Mexicans, there's like 15, 16 of them, and they're saying like, oh, the N word with each other. Like, I personally feel uncomfortable when they're saying like that, but I understand that there was like maybe 2, 3 Mexicans and like 5, 6 black people. They grew up together and they're saying it to each other, then it's fine. I find that like, I guess, more comfortable than when there's a whole bunch of Mexicans, a whole bunch of Cubans, a whole bunch of white people saying it, and they just say it amongst each other.
It is what it is. Especially right now, people are not gonna be, allowing other people to say, "Hey, don't say this, don't say that." Well, I mean, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of people are being canceled just for saying those kind of things. But I mean, it is what it is. People are gonna say it. People are not gonna say it. I mean, I may not like it. He may not like it, but people are gonna choose to do whatever they want at the end.
Yeah.
I wanna talk about this quote. I don't know if I think last week you had a quote.
No, we actually didn't make a quote last week because
okay.
I had to edit because of the part that we were talking about. It was a little bit different, so we had to edit that part out so we could kind of fix it. So now. Yeah,
I mean, we're not trying to get into any conflicts with anyone. We're just, we have an opinion. He has an opinion. I have an opinion. It is what it is. But
the only reason I brought it up again is because when we started this podcast, we did say we were gonna talk about everything.
Oh, that's true. So
I didn't want to hold back and be like other podcasts, not throwing shade at other podcasts, but
as long as we don't do any toy reviews. As long as we don't do any toy reviews, you say everything. I don't know. This guy wants to make toy reviews. Like what's his name? The kid, the famous kid.
Damn, I forgot. Hey, but they're making money and shit.
Yeah.
Why are you hating on
Ryan.
This guy.
Ryan Toys Review. I don't know if he wants to make that. But let me talk about this really quick. I know I found it actually on a YouTube video or TikTok. I can't remember, but it's a quote from the Bible. I mean, I just cut it out into one part where it says, I guess it's Mark 9:23. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. What do you think about that?
If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes.
So I feel it kind of means like if you believe it, it is gonna be possible, right?
Yeah.
For him, I mean, well, not for him, but.
Well, I guess the person that's believing it is.
Exactly.
And I guess it's true, because I don't know if your kids are around, but kids believe in Santa Claus. My son believes in Santa Claus, and trust me, it brings so much joy to him. He's already 8 years old, and my older kids know that it's not true, but I ain't trying to mess up his childhood. I got my childhood messed up, on how I found out Santa wasn't true, but I'll say it in a bit. But yeah, you always gotta believe in something. You always, I guess, if you believe that you could achieve something, you will achieve it.
There's a lot of people that try want to do something and they don't believe in themselves and something doesn't happen. And it has happened to me so many times, and we just keep trying and trying.
I said like I think in one of our podcasts I said with what's that guy's name, Gary Vee.
Yeah.
He talked about somebody has a 9-to-5 job. How many, like, you have kids, how you could always find time for it. Like he said, a body only needs 6 hours of sleep. You work a 9 to 5. That's 8 hours plus another hour to get home and your lunch, stuff like that. So that's already a total of 15 hours. You spend 2 hours with your kids. That's a total of 17. So you still have 7 hours left in your life to sit down and do something. So that's why are you achieving it?
I feel that you gotta, if you believe in something, do it. I guess don't waste time. Because sometimes I feel that time, is the thing that we won't be able to get back. And live by the moment, at the moment, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Next week, next month, next year.
That's true. But yeah, so that's I guess what I wanted to say in this episode. But before we do leave, just the reason when I say believe on anything is like with my kids. The way I found out Santa didn't exist, like, I didn't grow up having a lot of stuff, but I guess one year my parents decided to fucking wrap a fucking box of cookies and shit, when I asked them for a whole bunch of stuff, and fucking open up with some fucking 2 boxes of cookies and shit, but at the moment, now that I'm older, I learned to say, fuck, I should appreciate those cookies, because sometimes not everybody has what they want, and that's something that we need to understand. But yeah, so for all those parents out there, they tell their kids early or don't want their kids to believe in Santa, let them believe in Santa. Let them have their childhood. Because I didn't have my childhood for that long. So
talking about that, bro, I just remember something right now. I just remembered, and I think I agree. Now, I can't remember what the whole thing said, but I think it was like a comment on Facebook or Instagram. But it said basically not to lie to your kids that let's say like a gift, like a big gift, like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox or gaming computer, whatever. Instead of saying, hey, this big gift is from Santa, tell them, hey, this gift is from me, and the expensive gift. And this is why the person said this, because the next kid, the friend or something, or maybe the parent said, hey, they probably gave him a little toy, or couldn't afford Christmas gift, probably gave him a box of cookies, to the kid, to the friend. And is the friend of the kid that got the good toy, the PlayStation, let's say, the friend that got the box of cookies is gonna feel that Santa doesn't love him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's saying, instead of saying, hey, this gift is from me, this PS5 is from me and your mom, or this is for me, or because this is basically us working hard, hustling, doing our things, because the next kid might just get that box of cookies and say, hey, Santa doesn't love me, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good thing. And I never thought about that,
I never either until I read that.
And it's actually true, because my son asked me for an iPhone 13, and he wrote to Santa Claus that he wanted an iPhone 13, and I'm like, damn, like I don't know and shit, like that's $1,000, I have the money to drop, but I'm not gonna be dropping $1,000. So I was thinking about it, and then he told me yesterday we went to the mall. He's like, hey, Dad, he's like, why don't you just buy it for me, man? I don't want Santa to bring it, just buy it for me. He made it so easy because he has everything he wants, but I always never give it to him at the moment he wants it, I always try to train him in his mind, saying, hold up, I have to save for it. And the reason I do that is because even though I have the money to go and say, hey, here, I can go buy it for you, you know, in his mind, he's like, oh, my dad doesn't have the money right now. So every time he asks for something, he says, oh, Dad, can you buy me this? I said, no, not right now, because I don't have the money, even though I do. So I put an implement in his head that, you know, so him to always be like, oh, I cannot always get what I want at the moment. Maybe one day I'll get it, but, you know, because that way I kind of feel like I'm not spoiling him. I do spoil him, but I'm not spoiling him at the moment where he's like, oh shit, man, buy me this, and then because now he understands. If I tell him, oh no, I don't, not right now because I don't have the money, even if it's $5, you know, and even sometimes when we go to the store, he's like, oh Dad, like, I want this game. And he's like, oh, it's $60. No, never mind, it's too much, you know. I feel bad because he says it's too much, but then again, he already knows that he can't just be like buying and getting this much, you know. He's kind of learning not to waste too much money for stupid things, you know. And then if you want something, you have to save it, and that's how I always been. You know, even though I have the money to buy stuff, you know, I will never just be a writer. Oh, I have $1,000, I'm gonna go buy something cost $100. No, I have the money. I use it for something else that I actually need to pay bills and stuff like that. But if I want something really bad, I'll just save the money for it. Or like I did once, you know, when we wanted another bed, a bigger bed. You know, I told my wife, just wait for it. You know, let me fucking sell stuff on eBay. I sold it and I paid it off with the stuff I sold on eBay. So that's what I'm saying, like, yeah, and it's true, like, people shouldn't be, you know, I think an expensive gift should be, you know, when you put it that way, it's true, you know, because not everybody gets, you know, not all parents have the money to be buying it. Not all parents have that extra money to say, oh shit, I could buy it. And not only that, but not everybody has that to be that fortunate to be able to buy the PS5. Like, there's people that have the money, but they cannot go and win the thing to get the PS5. So sometimes, you know, yeah, and it's true, you know. So
and especially right now, bro, people, you know, because PS5 is still too hot. You know what I mean? People can buy it, like just going to Best Buy.
Yeah.
So people are gonna resell it. You know, people are reselling it at the moment, and imagine, you know, someone's parent buying it because that's what the kid wants.
Yeah.
So they're gonna pay what, resale value?
Yeah.
Double the price, 800,000.
Yeah. So this wraps it up for another episode. See you guys in the next episode. Hopefully we're able to do it before New Year's, because we want to talk about a lot of things. What are new things coming to this podcast?
Yeah.
So see you guys. Peace.
Happy holidays.